You agree? No overrides?
No overrides.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, fine. So then do you agree with Bruce that actually we'll be coming back because this thing is going to be tenuously holding on for dear life in the Budgeting Balancing Act and then immediately will fall out?
It's hard to see it before the election. I mean, maybe after, you know, but I have a hard time see them coming back to Albany for anything if they can help it. B, I mean, look, school districts pass their budgets.
Right.
You know, I mean, so you know, the school aid thing, it is what it is. Everybody's absorbed that kind of locally. So now it's, you know, can I get a member initiative form out in time before November? Right. You know, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. They love to do it, but I think that the counterbalance of that coming back to Albany, wading into other issues, I don't think it happens.
Okay, let's go back to this question from political strategy standpoint. The
Yes.
governor put all this stuff into the budget extenders, a really unprecedented thing that he did. We had never seen it done like that before. In the 13th round of budget extenders, not lucky 13 for him, he put
Right.
the whole kitchen sink in. He said, you do this by the 28th,
Right.
or, you know,
He
it's
put
the
the hard
highway
things
for
in
you.
there.
He put, of course he put the hard thing,
Right.
but he took
Yeah.
out the soda tax because that was the concession because
Right.
they all hated
Right.
it.
Yep.
All right, fine. And then finally, and I think, and people have said, that Shelley Silver really wanted all along. And you mentioned last week the likelihood that they would probably do a two-way deal. And he finally got Sean Sampson, who right up until the very end was saying, peace, 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 we want a three-way. So did Governor Patterson get rolled?
No. Because they can't override. He got rolled on process, but not on substance.
Okay.
In short, if he had put, you can't say that the legislature won because all the restorations they want got vetoed. There's no prospect for being overridden.
Yeah, but they don't have to take responsibility for it. They can go back to their constituents and say, sorry about those cuts, guys, we tried.
Guess what? Guess what? I don't
blame
think
Patterson.
any party or incumbent comes out of this budget process looking good going into that election. So in the sense that you are responsible for the incumbents, nobody has a clear message that's getting through from either party. I think with the exception, I disagree with David, I don't think any of these bullets have really dented Andrew Cuomo's
No, I don't think they have yet. But I think it's part of a narrative of whether or not you think somebody's part of the establishment or not, and wading into things, you become part of the establishment. As far as winners, I think Brian Kolb was a winner.
He did look good.
You know,
he did.
He was consistent. He was articulate, and he's got a history of, let's be honest, of being articulate and consistent.
The Assembly Minority Leader
yes,
we're talking
they do.
about. Yep.
And I think ultimately, whether or not we'll argue with recent history or not, I think that Dean Skelos and the Senate minority ultimately is a winner too because they didn't have to vote up on this budget at all.
Okay, but Dave, they have 4 seats now that they didn't expect.
Sure.
That they 4 vacancies they have
Right.
to defend.
Yep.
Then they've got some aging conference members. Their bench isn't very
and
deep.
some tough challenge races.
Yeah. Right.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Ken Laval has a strong candidate. Frank Padovan has a strong candidate against him. There's a wicked Republican primary that could come out against him in Vinnie Libel's area.
yeah.
Sue Savage is a strong candidate in Schenectady and Montgomery County here. And now there's a rumor that Jack Quinn may accept a judgeship rather than run against Senator Stokowski,
Oh, I didn't
which
hear
would
that
take
one.
out their, there's a talk of a cross endorsement
Not
for him for
substantiated.
Supreme. Correct. But there is talk of him taking a cross endorsement for Supreme Court, which
Interesting.
would then make it the winner of the Democratic primary between Senator Stokowski and his challenger Kennedy.
Okay, let me just ask
I'm
2
sorry.
things quickly. No, fine. Andrew Cuomo, appropriate for him? We've seen back-to-back press conferences that he calls for unrelated issues, knowing that he's going to get questions about the budget. Appropriate way for him to get in? Not appropriate way for him to get in.
If there's any appropriate or inappropriate, the question is whether or not it's smart for him. And again, I don't see how he wins under any of the scenarios I described because he's not being effective in winning any of the issues that he wants. Therefore, he looks either ineffective, or looks like he's not actually trying.
But he says it's not
what
my
is it?
budget. I really shouldn't be injecting myself into the process.
But
Well, he
then he
then
does.
subsequently
It
injects
didn't hurt
himself into the
George
process.
Pataki in 1994 when he voted against the budget and couldn't move his
Right.
fellow conference members. What George Pataki was judged on was 1995 and the first budget he did, and he got workers' comp, he got tax cuts, etc.
But he was
Andrew
like Brian
Cuomo
Cole,
will be judged.
intellectually
Andrew Cuomo
consistent.
will be judged on what he delivers if and when he's elected, and I don't know of anybody who thinks he won't be elected.
But agreed on a lot of things you're saying. But in a year where people are looking at anti-establishment and I think anti-establishment incumbents of any stripe are in trouble, Andrew Cuomo not being the governor, but being about as establishment as you can get, is going to have to basically fight off the instinct of people.
60% of the people
lump
in
him
New
in with
York
his party.
thinks he is the one with the best chance to bring change
Today.
to Albany.
Today. Today. I'm with
Okay,
it.
okay, men. Okay, quick question
Yeah.
on a topic that we don't love. Very fast. Elliot Spitzer will do well on CNN or will not do well on CNN?
He'll beat David's expectations.
Well, that's easy.
Actually, I think no. I think he'll do well, and I think it probably means that he probably doesn't run for office anytime soon, because I think it's
I
very
didn't think he was going to run for
I think it's very
office.
difficult for folks who are in the pundit business to turn
Right.
around and then run for office. So I think it says a lot about where he is and what he's
I
thinking.
mean,
Okay.
the rumor of you running for governor in 4 years is not true.
Oh,
Okay.
Bruce, last word, Bruce. Very tight, very, very tight. Thank you very
not gonna
much,
comment on
guys. Still ahead on Capital tonight. I have